Buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches, amantes del rock y del metal. Bienvenidos y bienvenidas a Conexión Rock Radio. Como siempre, les saluda Johnny González y les invitamos para que nos dejen su pulgar arriba y que estén disfrutando del contenido y de los invitados que les traemos en nuestras entrevistas internacionales. Hoy traemos a una banda muy, pero muy interesante que ha estado por ahí girando en el mapa desde 1982 y que ha estado lanzando un sinnúmero de álbums o una serie de álbums bastante recibidos y que ahora en 2026 están ya de regreso con un álbum que va a marcar otro paso muy interesante en su historia. Damas y caballeros, le doy la más cordial de las bienvenidas a mi invitado, en este caso, Gonzalo Sandoval, o mejor querido y mejor conocido como Gonzo, baterista de la banda Armored Saint y que está aquí compartiendo con nosotros en esta entrevista. Gonzo, welcome to Conexión Rock Radio. Thank you so much for your time today in your house. And for me, it's a big pleasure make this interview and share with the fans for Armored Saint around the world about the upcoming news that the band have in 2026. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Johnny. It's great to be here, and we're very excited for our new record and our new campaign to promote Emotion Factory Reset on Metal Blade Records.
Let's talk about this point, Gonzo. Armored Saint are releasing a Emotion Factory Reset. This is your album number 9 and will be released in May 22 via Metal Blade Records. What are your expectations leading up this new release in the history of Armored Saint?
Expectations? Well, you know what? I just would love to encourage everyone to go out and check this out. Whether you're young and haven't heard of the band, or whether you're a loyal fan, or somebody that's heard the band but just hasn't checked it out, I totally encourage you to step in into this new record, Emotion Factory Reset. It's another level of Armored Saint discography. I really love Punching the Sky and Win Hands Down and sonically and everything on this new record, Emotion Factory Reset. I think we really got it together on this. It's really a great sounding record. The songs are amazing, and I look forward to sharing it with the world.
We know that the first single was released in this case close to the bone. Our
Yes.
gives to the fans and slow taste of the new album. Can you tell us about the overall soul and direction of this new record, Gonzo?
Yes. We have Close to the Bones, our first single. There is also a video that you can check out at Armored Saint YouTube page. And I'm happy to announce that in 2 days, we're going to have the premiere of our second single and video. Close to the Bone was really nice. Hit a Moonshot is the next single and the next video. I'm really excited to hear what people have to say about this video. It's very different from anything that Armored Saint has ever done. And that same thing for this record. I think it's another level. It's an upgrade in sound and delivery of our recording capabilities. We've worked with great people. Joey Vera produced the record, and and Metal Blade is supporting it and releasing it. Really cool. So we're doing a lot of pre promotion for the release on May 22nd, and just looking forward to hearing what the fans have got to say and hopefully love it. And there's a lot to talk about the making of it and the name itself, and I'm just really excited to be able to do interviews promoting Emotion Factory Reset.
Has been 6 years, Gonzo, since the releasing of Punching the Sky in 2020, another big album that you released in these days. How did the band navigate that gap, especially through the challenge of the pandemic from COVID-19?
Yes. COVID-19 was a challenge for the whole world, and it just brought about situations that nobody can prepare for. And for myself personally, I never thought that I would live through something, a pandemic like COVID-19, and with all the things that went along with it, it was a disruption. We released Punching the Sky, and then COVID hit. So it was a bit of a shock that we couldn't tour, we couldn't promote it. What do we do? We did what we can. We did stuff, released it from home. We did some special recordings via Zoom and all what was available, but it definitely disrupted that record. So that was like 3 years. Armored Saint has never been a band to release record, tour, like a routine. It just basically we've been releasing records when we can and when we want to. And unfortunately or fortunately, that's the way it is. I like to say that because of the circumstance, that we're probably the oldest, newest band, because we haven't really saturated like record tour. There's always something that unfortunately has derailed us for whatever reason. But that's the past. I'm looking forward to the now and the future. Metal Blade is supporting the record. The guys, John, Joey, Phil, and Jeff. Phil being my brother, they're playing the best ever. We have a chemistry that's undeniable. We just did our first show of the year, celebrating the Rainbow Bar and Grill in Hollywood, California, their 54th anniversary, and it was great to be back on stage and playing our music. And we did play Close to the Bone, so we got new music to play, and we're very excited. Yeah.
This album features the classic Armored Saint lineup. How does it feel to continue working with such a solid and long-standing brotherhood over the years?
Yeah, yeah, it's great. We had a lot of fun making the video. We have a new video that's going to be very different, but just as entertaining. So the record was amazing making it, and now doing videos and now promoting it. So we're just excited to be in this position and getting ready to tour the world.
By the way, Joey Vera handled the production and engineering again for this new work. But
Yes.
what makes his role so essential in shaping the band's sounds today?
Well, Joey's the center point now, and he produces the records. He does a great job. He's very detailed orientated, and we submit ideas and contributions of musical lyrics, song titles, themes, and John and Joey put together the demos and write the songs that we get back as demos, and then we learn the our parts, and then get on with the recording. It's a process that's taking shape, I'd say, in the last 3 or 4 records, and technology has allowed us to work, not having to be in the same room. As we did in the beginning in 1982, we would write all our songs together and rehearse them and get them ready. That has changed through the years. Of course, life kicks in, and like I said, technology has allowed us to do it differently. But the end result is what counts. Jay Rustin mixed this record. He's mixed the last couple records. He's done an amazing job. And everybody, Joey, Bill Metoyer, helped with recording the guitars. Oliver at 606 Studio recorded the drums. It was an amazing experience. 606 Studio is a David Grohl studio, and the Foo Fighters studio. And when I walked in there, they said, "This is a room built by drummers for drummers." And I really, really, really felt that energy. The room is amazing. The sonics are great. The drums sound just unbelievable. And it just felt like what we can do there is limitless. and that feeling in when you're recording is awesome because we want to try to bring something not that we've done, but something that we haven't done and upgrade it to a new level. And I think we've succeeded in this record, Emotion Factory Reset. And the album cover looks awesome. It's creative, and the songs have such a variety, but heavy hitting, well recorded, well written, well done. John is sounding the best he's ever sounded, and it's just a blessing. The guitar players, amazing. Phil Sandoval, just playing the best he's ever played, as well as Jeff Duncan, and together they make a team that's undeniable. Armored Saint guitar team is great, and of course Joey plays amazing bass, and he's a great songwriter and producer. And we have Emotion Factory Reset on Metal Blade Records to show where Armored Saint is at in 2026.
And we know that appears many people with works in the studio: Jay Ruston, Paul Lugus, Oliver Roman, Jason Constantine. But especially, you mention a big name, in this case, Bill Metoyer. For me, Bill Metoyer is a big, legendary name in the metal production around the world. What was like reconnecting with him in this project?
Yeah, back in the 80s when we met him, we had a lot of fun. He helped us to record our first EP at Track Record in the beginning. That's where we met him. So he's remained a friend with us for a long, long time. Besides being an incredibly talented engineer and producer himself, he's our friend. So that connection is something you just can't buy, and working with Bill is awesome. We have great times, and he does great work. So yeah, Bill Metoyer all the way.
The album includes a diverse track list from aggressive songs to more atmospheric pieces, like example, Epilogue. What is a specific concept or emotional tweet behind Emotion Factory Reset, Gonzo?
Well, I can tell you what I personally think about the name Emotion Factory Reset. I think, all humans have emotion, good, bad, different, whatever, but we all connect as humans and we all have emotion. I look at the world, the planet as the factory, emotion factory, and I'm really feeling that if we get it together, it's time for a reset. It's time to reevaluate. So emotion factory reset is very, very deep if you want it to be. It's a message of seeking the light, positivity, and definitely world encompassing. So to me, that's how big this record is. Other people, including some of the guys in the band, they look at it differently. But to me, that's how big it is. That's how important it is. I think the world needs Armored Saint at this time in 2026. I always move to try to inspire people, inspire the youth in what I do and how we do it. So I'm hoping that it does gravitate towards a new audience that heard the name Armored Saint but hasn't checked it out, and I invite and encourage you to walk through the door and get your record, Emotion Factory Reset. You will love it.
By the way, Gonzo, Symbol of Salvation Live celebrate 30 years on one of the most iconic albums. Do you see yourself revisiting another record in full for a future live release, perhaps Raising Fear approaches at the 30th anniversary also?
Yeah, we did re-release the first three records that were on Chrysalis, and now we've re-released them, and Metal Blade is putting them out. They weren't available for a long time, and we're blessed enough to have Metal Blade be able to work it out with Chrysalis Records to be able to produce a new batch. So people can check out those first three legendary records. They are on Metal Blade Records now. And as far as re-release, we just re-released Symbol of Salvation on LP, and you know, that's just a staple for us. I think after Symbol of Salvation, well, actually before Symbol of Salvation, you know, David Pritchard unfortunately passed away. You know, that really hit the band so hard that we didn't really know if we were going to continue. David was so the center point at the time. He was creative. He's an artist, guitar player. He just really did a lot for the band, and I thank him personally for that. But when he passed, you know, it was a big, giant hole in our heart, and it was hard to get over that. And eventually, though, during his last years, we asked him if he wanted to take a break and, you know, and handle his health, and he said no. He said he wants to write, he wants to keep going, and so we did, and we wrote 24 amazing songs with him. And when he passed, of course, that was still in limbo. So Brian Slagle had of Metal Blade Records had a lot to do with us reforming and led kind of letting us know that we wrote these songs and it would just be a tremendous shame if they went nowhere. So he said, "Why don't we work them out and use make a new record?" And that brought us together. And you know, my brother Phil was out of the band for a little bit. We brought Phil back. We had Jeff Duncan, Phil Sandoval, Joey Vera, and John Bush. You know, on another level after Dave passed. I think it was very just heartfelt the way the recording went down and the way that record came out. And I think, you know, for now, it is a definite heavy metal classic. It's got a lot of heart and emotion in it, and that's one of the staples. But you know, when Punchy the Sky came out, we couldn't promote it that much because of COVID and all that. But I believe that it was a strong record, and people were saying, "How are you going to make a better record than Punching the Sky?" You know, it's a challenge. But for us, the way it's worked out is we don't repeat like the records. We didn't look. There's not another March of the Saint or any of the other records. They each hold their own, and I think that it represents the time where we were at, and the songs that were written represent the time we were living. And I think Emotion Factory Reset definitely has stepped up another level from Punching the Sky. So with that said, I think that people will be highly surprised and hopefully impressed to fall in love with the record and you know, the new level of Armored Saint in the Armored Saint style. It's its own thing, like every record has been its own thing, and really proud of that.
Metal, the genre, has gone through many changes over the decades. How do you view Armored Saint's place in today's metal scene around the world? Because you have over more of 4 decades on makeup music and have a big stories in your back.
Yeah, that's a good question. When we started, you know, our influences, you know, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, UFO, Michael Schenker, on and on, and very European. We just loved that style. We wanted to be the American European sound band, you know, and that's we loved all that, and Armored Saint, we always loved that style of music. So metal has changed a lot, and back then, before thrash, before speed metal, and all of that came through, we had established our rhythm, our tempos, the style of music, and when the new style of thrash and speed came in and basically took over, we did struggle a bit trying to fit in, but at the end of the day, we realized we don't need to fit in. We just need to do our thing. And hopefully the world will come around and love the Armored Saint style, which is vastly different than the thrash and all that came through. Now, many years later, I think that the focus is still to retain the Armored Saint style. It's very different than many other bands. And we have a lot of tools. We have one of the best singers in the world with John Bush. We have a creative, energetic energy flowing through us in the writing, in the producing, in the recording, and now we have the chance to bring it all live in 2026. Metal has changed. Many decades have passed, and Armored Saint is still here and doing the best that we are. We're sounding tight, upper levels of wherever we've been. So in the past, it was one thing. We've gone through different, you know, temperatures of the water for heavy metal, but we're still here holding the flag, and carrying the torch for heavy metal, and doing it in the Armored Saint style, which is, I believe, very different than whatever's gone by. And we're just honored and privileged and blessed to be able to shine our light creatively through our music, and grateful to Brian Slagle and Tracy Vera, Mike Faley, and all the people at Metal Blade that allow us to make records, and are very supportive of what we do, and especially now with Emotion Factory Reset.
Sir, at the end of this interview, what message do you want to send for all the people that enjoyed this interview? And again, thank you so much for your time here in Conexión Rock Radio. Had you total support for the new album from Armored Saint, and we're looking forward for in talk in the future and give continuity, the history, and a great band, in this case from Armored Saint. I send my best wishes and the best success now with this new album that appears in a few weeks. In this case, Emotion Factory Reset.
Yes, I want to just send a message to all the youth, the young people in the world. You know, I see a lot of people sort of maybe looking for a path, or I don't know how it would be like to be a youth in this age, but I do encourage people that love this music, especially the youth, and want to continue to have heavy metal in the world, to learn your instrument, play guitar, play drums, play with your friends. If you sing, sing from the heart. Do it. Build your own bands, young bands. I think the future of heavy metal is in the young bands that are coming up that we don't even know yet. And I encourage them to get into the craft and step in. The world is a beautiful place. It has endless amounts of pathways to creativity, and letting that flow through you and show it to the world. Our loyal fans, thank you. Thank you for sticking with us, and we look forward to the heavy metal concerts that we're going to do live. And I want everyone to come out and have fun and support the Armored Saint cause. In this crazy world, I think Armored Saint once again the world needs Armored Saint. In that, to me, it's a light, and go towards the light. Is the thing we're doing our music at the highest level that we can. It's tight. It's an amazing thing to witness, and life is fleeting. So we're not going to be here forever. Right now, we're at the best position we can. I encourage the world to pick up Emotion Factory Reset and come on out and see the band. We have a lot in store. All I say is take care of each other, love each other, stay on the path, and rock and roll for life. Armored Saint for life.
Bueno, damas y caballeros, pues ustedes han escuchado aquí esta amena conversación con Gonzo Sandoval, baterista de la banda Armored Saint. Así que les invitamos, en la descripción del video les vamos a dejar sus comunidades para que puedan ahí estarlos siguiendo, para que puedan saber de sus próximas noticias. De igual manera, para que puedan comprar este nuevo trabajo, ya sea a través de la banda, de la página de la banda, o de igual manera a través de la tienda de Metal Blade Records para compras en todo el mundo. Así que les invitamos para que estén al pendiente de lo que va a ser Emotion Factory Reset, que va a salir el próximo 22 de mayo a través de Metal Blade Records alrededor del mundo. Soy Johnny González. Estas fueron las entrevistas internacionales en Conexión Rock Radio, pendientes de la próxima de nuestra serie. Y como siempre les decimos a todos ustedes en cualquier parte del mundo, que el rock y el metal no falten siempre en su dieta diaria. Que la pase muy bien.
Muchas gracias.